Managing your budget is one of the most important skills that every adult needs to have. This is important whether you have been a nurse for years or are just getting started as a new grad. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Isaac, your personal finance nurse, and today I'm going to be walking you through the best possible way to budget for nurses. So let's not waste any more time and get right into it. What is budgeting? Budgeting is basically creating a plan to spend your money. When you're good at budgeting, you'll find yourself spending less than you are earning, and you might even be able to save up for the surplus amount for your future goals. This process is the first step towards financial literacy, and it later builds up financial security and freedom. Isn't that what each and every one of us is after? Nobody wants to constantly worry about how they are going to manage their finances, and this freedom can only be achieved by learning how to budget successfully. This practice is for everyone, whether you've been working for decades or you're a student who is just figuring out how to manage your day-to-day expenses. Budgeting is crucial since it can assist you in achieving your financial objectives. These objectives might be anything from budgeting for a particular event to saving for a down payment on a property. Budgeting is important even if you don't have any financial goals. This is due to the fact that it allows you to have a better grasp of your own finances. Whatever your budget's objective, you always know how much money you have and how much you can spend, allowing you to make smarter financial decisions. Budgeting is the most efficient method of money management, and while budgeting may appear intimidating at first, it offers several advantages, regardless of your financial situation. There are so many benefits of budgeting. The first is that it provides security in the case of unprecedented events. For example, recent developments could not have been expected by many individuals. Many of us have been financially impacted by COVID, and many more are dealing with unexpected changes in their lives as a result of rampant inflation. According to a study on the impact of the pandemic, 64% of those who lost their jobs in 2020 are concerned about not being able to pay for a huge unexpected cost. Although life-changing events like pandemics don't happen every day, budgeting can prepare you for such an occurrence. Those who have been budgeting previously may have had a safety net to fall back onto at this time. Even in tough circumstances, it is not too late to start budgeting. If you're having financial difficulties, budgeting might help you cut out needless expenses and get right back on track. Another great benefit of budgeting is that it gives you control over money. Many of us are unaware how much money we spend on expenses, but budgeting may help you regain control. A budget may help you keep track of your bills, mortgage, rent, and other expenses like entertainment, subscriptions, gas, and public transportations. When you tally everything together, your expenses may be higher than you actually anticipated. Knowing this information allows you to make more educated judgments when determining whether you can afford that next holiday. Finally, the thing I love most about budgeting is that it lets you achieve financial contentment. One of the underlying foundations of sound financial conduct is financial happiness. It helps you enjoy your financial journey by preventing you from spending money you don't have. But here's the thing, if you spend all of your time worrying about other people's finances and try to do things to show that you have as much money as others, you'll never be satisfied. This is sometimes referred to as keeping up with the Joneses, and it's a horrible and financially risky way to live. Instead, you should concentrate on your own life, finances, and decisions. That's why having a budget is so crucial. You're making a conscious effort to focus on your own money rather than trying to impress others every time you sit down to design, analyze, refine, or log costs into your budget. After a while, you'll find that you lose focus on what other people do with their money, and you'll know what it's like to be financially content. Now, my goal used to be chasing certain items that would make me look rich when in reality, I was going paycheck to paycheck. Unfortunately, I know so many people like this. If you take anything out of this video today, I want you to realize that budgeting here and now is to give you that flexibility to afford those purchases in the future without having to compromise your financial well-being. So next, I'm going to share with you my favorite budgeting method. While there are many types of budgeting methods out there, one of the most popular and effective methods is the 50-30-20 rule. This rule was popularized by Senator Elizabeth Warren and her daughter Amelia Warren Tyagi in their book, All You're Worth, The Ultimate Lifetime Money Plan. It was designed as a rough rule of thumb for working class families to plan their spending in order to prepare for the future and unforeseen circumstances. The 50-30-20 rule is a way to allocate your budget according to three categories. The first one is need, the second one, and finally the third is financial goals. However, before you can begin using this method, the first thing you need to do is calculate your after-tax income. This will be the amount from which you will begin your allocations. For example, if your after-tax income amounts to $7,000 per month, you will have $3,500 for needs, $2,100 for wants, and $1,400 for savings. In this allocation, needs are the expense that you absolutely must keep in your budget no matter what. Think of these as mandatory costs of living, and these include housing, utilities, transportation, and healthcare expenses, minus payments on your debt, and the bare minimum cost of buying essential clothing and supplies. Wants are categorized by things or expenses that you choose to spend money on, basically things that you don't essentially need to to live your life. These include eating out, shopping trips, impulse buys, and alcohol. Now, it is easy to mix wants with needs, but the simplest way to remove this confusion is to sit down, make a list of all your expenses, and mark out those things you think you can live without, and you will have your answer. Finally, the last category involves savings or money that you want to invest. This part of your budget will further your financial goals and will ultimately allow you to break out of the vicious 9-to-5 cycle. These savings will also come in handy in times of emergency or unforeseen circumstances. Managing your finances is confusing, and it is often hard to know where to start, but that's one reason that makes the 50-30-20 rule work so well. But of course, like all other things, it also has its downsides. One of that is that people will often find it hard to separate wants from needs. The other is that this method might be hard to follow for people who barely make ends meet. If you still think that budgeting is too hard, then we have got a number of app recommendations for you that will help you manage your budget. The first app that we recommend is Mint. Let's start with Mint's overwhelmingly positive reviews on both the App Store and Google Play. It's free and allows you to sync a variety of accounts, including bank and savings accounts, credit cards, loans, investments, and invoices. Mint automatically categorizes your expenditures into budget categories when it comes to budgeting. These categories, which are limitless, can be customized. You may establish limitations for these categories, and Mint will alert you when you're getting close to them. Mint may also help customers pay off debt, save more money, and monitor objectives in addition to budgeting capabilities. Users' credit card scores and net worth are also displayed on the app. As a bonus, Mint also offers a wealth of information on how to use the app, including a comprehensive FAQ and a list of known difficulties. Mint is excellent in a variety of ways, including the fact that it keeps track of almost everything for you. However, if you want to be more hands-on with your budgeting, this may not be the best option. Other applications on our list may work better for you if you're looking for an app that helps you plan ahead for your money rather than tracking it after the fact. Another app we really like is Good Budget. This app is more about financial planning than it is about keeping track of prior transactions. This program is basically envelope budgeting method, which involves allocating a percentage of your monthly income to specified expenditure categories called envelopes. Your financial accounts are not linked in this app. You enter account balances, which you can get from your bank's website, cash amounts, debts, and income by hand. The money is then allocated to envelopes. The app is available on both your phone and the web. You also discover a wealth of useful articles and videos to assist you in using the app. A free version of Good Budget is available with one account, 2 devices, and a restricted number of envelopes. Good Budget Plus, the premium version, offers limitless envelopes and accounts, as well as up to 5 devices and other features. But there are some shortcomings with the app because you can't link your bank accounts. You have to manually input all your expenses like I mentioned earlier, and if you're not willing to put in the effort, the app will likely be ineffective for you. Personal Capital is another app that is great for tracking wealth and spending. Although it is primarily an investing tool, this free app has tools that can assist budgeters in keeping track of their expenditures. Checking, savings, and credit cards accounts, as well as IRAs, 401ks, mortgages, and loans may all be linked and monitored. By listing recent transactions by category, the app gives a spending snapshot. You may personalize those categories and see how much of your overall monthly income each one represents. Personal Capital also has a portfolio breakdown and a network tracker. The app is available on both the phone and the computer. However, like other apps, this one also has its shortcomings. If your aim is to budget and save, you may want to take a different path. The budgeting capabilities of this program helped it reach the list, but it's the investing tools that set it apart. Other applications provide more in-depth budgeting options. If you like simple budgeting, then Pocket Guard is going to be the perfect one for you. Its feature set isn't the most extensive on our list, but that's one of the reasons we appreciate it. The software focuses on making things easier. You can track your bills and link your bank accounts, credit cards, loans, and investments. This program uses the information to calculate how much money you have left over after paying for needs, bills, and objectives. Pocket Guard also records your net worth and provides you the option to manage your finances manually rather than linking your accounts. Pocket Guard Plus, the commercial version, includes a debt payback plan, as well as the ability to export your transactions and other features. This software performs a lot of the heavy lifting for you. That's fine for a fairly hands-off experience, but not so much if you really want to sit down and budget. Also, a heads up to Android users, Pocket Guard for some reason is on the lower end for Google Play ratings among the top budget applications we already reviewed. Pocket Guard also comes in 3 versions. The free version, while the Plus is for $7.99, and you can get the lifetime subscription for around $99.99. Budgeting is something that all nurses need to embrace. Let's face it, prices are going higher and higher, and the increase in our salaries is so minimal. So if we do not start managing our finances, then believe me, things aren't going to turn out well, and you'll find yourself eventually in mountains of debt sooner than you could have ever imagined. So that's all that we had time for today, but I hope you learned some important budgeting lessons from this video. Let me know how you plan on budgeting down in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like this video if you got any value out of it, and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more content on personal finance just like this. Anyways, I look forward to seeing you next week. Peace.